What's up, Pre-PT Nation? I wanted to start off the week with this video, and it has to do with applicants who are using mental health challenges or eating disorder struggles in their PTCAS or their supplemental application essays. I'm going to tell you why we do not recommend this here at Physical Therapy Application Coach. So I use a lot of dating analogies when it comes to the application, because that in reality, that's a lot of what you're doing. PTCAS is almost like a dating app, an online dating app. And when you are invited to attend a program interview, it's like a speed dating session, right? So I want you to think about this. If on your online profile, the headliner of your profile is, I have an eating disorder that I've struggled with for 15 years. Do you think that's a great way to represent yourself right off the bat on a dating app? I don't think so. Or if you're struggling with mental health, like I have severe anxiety and depression, I have an obsessive compulsive disorder, right? Do you think that's the right place to talk about that, right? On your online dating profile and in your PTCAS application, you get to choose which skeletons you pull out of your closet, and everybody has them. I don't want people to misunderstand or misconstrue what I'm saying. If you struggle with these issues, I hope you're getting the help that you need. This does not mean you're a bad person. There are so many applicants who struggle with these issues, so I'm not saying that makes you a bad person. But you get to choose what things you share in your essays. And using these mental health or eating disorder issues in your essays is not going to put you in a position of strength. The entire rest of your application, you are almost going to have to explain or to talk about these issues. And I also say this all the time. Anything that you put in your application essays, be prepared to talk about them in your program interviews, okay? Talking about eating disorders with a perfect stranger during a DPT program interview is going to be awkward. And also, put yourself in the shoes of a DPT program. If you are trying to find applicants that are the lowest risk, are at the lowest risk of dropping out of your program and being able to pass the NPTE and become a licensed physical therapist, are you going to pick the person who tells you outright that they really struggle with mental health challenges and anxiety and depression? Or are you going to pick someone who talks about an eating disorder that they've had for 15 years and they still continue to struggle with it? Or are you going to pick an applicant who tells you about experiences they've had where they've demonstrated perseverance, grit, where they've been able to work well with others, when they've been able to connect with patients, right? It's a no-brainer. Like, please don't put yourself in a bad position by talking about these issues. This isn't to shame people. This isn't to make people feel bad, right? But you get to choose what you put in your application. And we highly recommend that you put things in there that make you look awesome, that put you in a position of strength. And many of us struggle with mental health challenges, okay? There are times that we all experience high levels of anxiety and depression. There are those who have more severe chemical imbalances and they absolutely need help. But please put yourself in a position of strength. Talk about the things that are awesome about you as an applicant. So that way you don't have to be fighting from behind or having people assign a stigma or a bias to you. This happens as well. Regardless of whether or not you want them to, people will assign a stigma or a bias to you if you struggle with these issues. That doesn't mean that you're not worth the love or you're not worth respect and admiration and kindness. But when we're looking at applying to physical therapy school, you need to put yourself in a position of strength. All right. Anyways, I've beat that horse sufficiently. But I hope this video is helpful to you. If you are struggling with writing your application essays, or you feel like, oh shoot, I put these issues in my application essay and you're not sure how to navigate or what things to put in there, go ahead and send us a DM. Register for our upcoming free PTCAS and supplemental essays webinar, which is going to be held this Saturday, September 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is our last application essays webinar of this application cycle. So you aren't going to want to miss it. If you have essays that are still pending, you need to be there on Saturday. Thanks so much. Have an awesome rest of your day and happy applying.